Is this too close to the camera? Hey guys, so this past week I went to scareLA. scareLA is a Halloween convention where you can learn about different haunts, different movies, find out stuff for makeup, or even just your own haunted house, or just to enjoy Halloween and see all the different stuff that's going on for the season. I got to interview some celebrities, go through some mini haunts, and just interview some people who go to scareLA. So I made this video and it turned out really long. So I'm breaking it up into 3 parts. The first part is going to be some celebrity interviews and the Walking Dead game panel with some of the cast. The second part is going to be just people who go to scareLA, why we go to scareLA, why I go to scareLA. The third part is going to be about the mini haunts there and haunts that I recommend checking out. And I hope you guys enjoy this. This is about a Halloween convention, so if you don't like Halloween, this might not be for you, but if you do, then you're in the right place. I hope you guys like this parts or videos or series, or I don't know, I just hope you like it. I'm coffee deprived, which we're going to talk about too, because the coffee there was just not okay. It was saddening how bad the coffee was. I would like to apologize about some of the sound in a lot of the interviews because my microphone broke on my way to scareLA and it shattered into pieces, and so you'll hear like sometimes loud background noise, and I'm really sorry. And also a couple times, a couple of the interviews and even the Walking Dead panel was blurry, and I don't know why. I was trying to figure out with my camera, it's never done that before, and it's just being really weird because it's like, you're an official press person, so we're just gonna, you know, screw it up. Okay, so the first part of this video is I got to interview some cool celebrities like Fennoy, who plays Lee in the Walking Dead Telltale game, and some other cool people. So I just asked him a few questions, and I'll show you a little bit of the Walking Dead Telltale game panel, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys just enjoy these videos, and if it's not something you're into, I hope I have something later on in the future that you'll want to watch. But hope you guys enjoy.
No, I never watched it.
So what's it like to be Lee in the Walking Dead Telltale game?
Well, you know, I think it's probably the most gratifying role that I ever got to play. For a couple of reasons. One, he was such a real character. He was very close to actually who I am as a person anyway. And the game became so popular and the character became so popular that it brought me lots of other gifts. I probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for Lee Everett, despite the fact that I've been in hundreds of video games. But this character opened up some doors and allowed people to kind of see that, wow, they really can act.
So were you like a fan of The Walking Dead before you got the video game?
I was a fan of The Walking Dead, and what was interesting is I enjoyed the show. I wouldn't say I was one of the crazy fans that like everything Walking Dead, but I was a fan of the show, and I got a call. They had already recorded the first episode, and they didn't like the actor they had chosen, so I got a call to audition. Did the audition. A week later they said, okay, you got the part. And when I first went in the studio about a month later, the first 20 minutes on the script I knew, wow, this is special. I am so glad I booked this thing. And it was even better than I thought it was. Find me on Facebook, follow me at Dave Fennoy, also Instagram. I'm there. I'm easy to find.
So, you probably get this a lot, but what's it like being on The Walking Dead? I mean, did you think it would be this big when you started it?
I do get that a lot, actually, and we all had a sense that something special was happening while we were shooting that first season. But I definitely don't think that anybody could have anticipated how wildly successful and what a global phenomenon this show became. So we knew something was up. No idea how immensely big it would be.
Personally, my fan theory is that Morales will come back.
Okay.
Do you think he ever will, or is it just something that might be in the works, or you really probably can't say?
My character Morales?
Yeah, and his family, they just disappeared.
Yeah, I think it's possible, right? I mean, definitely didn't kill me off. Took the walkie and the gun at the end of that first season, and I definitely think it's a possibility. Every year, it's funny to always get wind of all the different rumors and speculation and theories that people have as the season approaches. Every year there's always Morales is coming back for this season or that season, and that's always fun. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm always open to the possibility. Stay tuned, and we'll see. We'll see if maybe Morales and his family will make it back to the show at some point.
Now, do you have any tips for actors or like people wanting to be in the industry?
I do. I have the number one thing that I tell people more than anything, persistence really is key, more than talent even, is sticking with it past those dry times, because there will be ups and downs in this career. It's not a fun journey. No, it is a fun journey, but there's definitely a lot of bumps along the way. It's not an easy journey, is what I'm trying to get at. And what I'd like to tell people is to try to find and explore work in these emerging markets. So like, I'm from Texas, I went to school at NYU, I went back to Texas, and people are like, why'd you do that? And I actually got more work in Texas than most of my friends that stayed at NYU or went out to LA after they graduated, because you're kind of a bigger fish in a smaller pond, and you can distinguish yourself in these markets. So Georgia's doing a whole lot of work right now. Michigan, I believe, still has the incentives. New Mexico, Texas, different states, and it's in constant ebb and flow as every year the incentives change. But if you can go there and get in on these major Hollywood projects with major directors and major actors, small parts, because that's all you're going to get in those markets, but you can start to build a resume and start to build the reel, so that when you eventually do come out to the major market like LA, you have a lot more under your belt. You kind of come in the middle, and it's a little bit easier to get traction, because it's just so hard. There's so many people, there's so much competition. It's really difficult to get that traction out here in LA, and that's one way that you can kind of climb up the other side of the mountain.
Now, is there any projects you want to mention that you're working on right now that people can watch you on?
Sure. Well, there's a couple of projects that I can't really talk about quite yet, so I'll tell you about some projects that are available now. Last year I did about 5 episodes on Amazon Prime's Goliath with Billy Bob Thornton, which was a lot of fun. And then I had my first foray into comedy in January when I did Crackle.com's first original film, with playing opposite Charlie Sheen and Leah Remini, Vanessa Mitchell, Tiffany Haddish, who's killing it right now. So that's a lot of fun. You can watch both of those online at Crackle.com and Amazon.com. I have a video game that's going to be coming out in the fall called State of Decay 2 that a lot of people are very excited about. There are a lot of fans from the first title, and then got such a big following, the studios threw some money behind it and decided to go big with the second installment. So it's definitely exciting to be a part of that.
Do you have any like social medias you just want to say?
Follow me on IMDb, give my page a like on Facebook fan page, Juan Pareja, fan page on Twitter and Instagram, Juan G Pareja, that's P-A-R-E-J-A. Come by and say hello.
Hi guys, my name is Tumanova. I did this film, it's called American Exorcism, and I play the lead in it, and my character Caroline is a typical teenager who goes through all kinds of things that teenager goes through, and she has a boyfriend, she has parents who she rebels from, but she's also possessed. I don't want to give away too much about the film, but it's available on Redboxes, on Amazon and iTunes, and I hope you guys can watch it and like it and just support me.
Can you talk about a little bit how, like, was it challenging to take on that type of role where you're possessed and you have to go through something you've probably never been through before?
Definitely have never been possessed, you're right there. I think as an actor it's my job, so I had to do my research, I had to rehearse with the other actors, and it was challenging physically, emotionally, because it's not, you know, it's not a comedy, it's definitely something different, and as a topic you need to approach it differently, but I think we did a great job because I had a great team, and with makeup, with the lighting, with amazing locations, I think it all came together really nice, and yeah, again, just watch the movie. The audience is the judge, so I hope you like it. Please follow me on Instagram, it's Kate.Tumanova, and Facebook is just Kate Tumanova. I'm actually going to Louisiana next week to shoot another horror film. It's called The Demonologist, and I'll be posting a lot of pictures of locations, behind the scenes, pictures with other actors, and that's a really creepy, scary film too, so stay tuned for that. Thank you.
How was it for you? How was it getting the part of playing this little girl?
Well, it was extra special, awesome, cool. Those are all my words. You know, when myself and a few people had done, probably, I don't know how many, how many of you did work with Telltale games before The Walking Dead?
I
did. You did?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd done work with Telltale games for years, actually, all the way back to Sam and Max. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that. And I was already a fan of the show. I hadn't read the comics yet. I think it was going into season 2 of the show, so I was like, when I got from Starz agency in San Francisco, this audition for The Walking Dead, and saw that Telltale Games was doing it, I was just like, oh my god, I have to get in on this game somehow. I don't care if I'm like zombie in the background, yada yada. I actually auditioned. I would totally have done that. I auditioned for all of, I'm pretty sure this is just what we do, auditioned for all of the women roles, except for Katja, because I saw that they wanted a Dutch accent, and I was like...
Belgian.
Oh, sorry. I would be like, how are you doing? It would just have been like comical, and it was a very serious game, as you all know.
She's not the Swedish chef.
Yeah. That's why I didn't audition for Katja. How are you doing? First draft of the animation for her is her in her little white nightgown, season 1 clan. You know, and they're pretty good with the description they send with the auditions of, you know, how they want the character to feel.
Actually, you'll have this many lines, like 5 lines, and then
that much direction.
This much direction.
To even put a kid as, you know, kind of
a main character.
The main character.
Yeah.
The focus of season 1 is all about Lee Everett taking, you know, helping this girl survive and teaching her to, you know, survive on her own. So it had to be nailed down, and I don't know, I just kind of drew within me
this little tiny voice of this little girl. And I don't know exactly how I did it, but...
That's how, right there.
Yeah. But the direction really helped, because she was supposed to be really strong, and, you know, you had to want to protect her, so it was pretty cool.
You know, I found something out about Sissy not too long ago. We were at a convention.
Oh, God.
And Sissy Jones is just one of the finest voice actresses on the planet. She just is. And she has the hardware to prove it. She won a BAFTA for a recent game she was in.
Which is cool that they actually recognize games over there. It's a very high honor.
Melissa and I were nominated, got to go to the ceremony, but some damn Englishman won it.
I know.
But I found out that the very first video game that Sissy Jones did was the Walking Dead game. Tell us about that experience.
So I used to work in the Silicon Valley. I was a grunt. I was working way too many hours and hating way too much of my life, and made the jump. I switched when I was 30 to be a voice actor, which is real scary. And I got this audition of this little plump Belgian veterinarian, and she'd been in the States for 14 years, so her accent was there, but it wasn't overwhelming. And she was very kind, and she was married to a hothead. And she reminded me of someone I knew, and I went for it. And they actually called me back, because my first audition was way too French. And they were like, that's a terrible accent. Can you redo it? So I had a Belgian friend, and I followed him around with a tape recorder for like 3 days. And I was like, no, keep talking. It's getting creepy.
The writers on this game, again, they nail down the scripts. I mean, that part of it is made very easy for us. And because of how much time it takes to record each episode and how much time we get to spend, well, I've gotten to spend my character, sorry everybody.
But we're not bitter or anything.
Must be nice, Clem. You know, just the aging process. I'd say the jump from season 1 to 2 was probably the trickiest shift, just because, you know, almost a couple of years have gone by, and of course we don't have a lot of backstory. It's like, well, what happened to Krista's baby? And,
right.
You know, I mean, they started, you know, so we have to kind of concoct a lot of that, but you know, as far as doing the voice, that particular transition was a little difficult, because she was supposed to be only 11 or 12. It's funny, I was totally like geeking out over perfecting this new Clementine voice when
It just went from here to basically right there. It was very simple.
anyways, but it's been really cool to get to age with her, and again, the writers are so talented that it's just, it's felt so natural.
Melissa actually booked the role when she was only 6, so she has aged. This game was in the
now
works
that
for a long
I'm 19,
time.
wait, I can't even do math. What?
Lee, I'm hungry.
Clementine, we'll find food soon.
Does anybody know how to use this battery? I can't figure it out.
That's okay, I will take care of all the animals, and I will take care of my ducky.
You can do Kenny. I mean, just because he's not here, you should probably.
I have a question.
Ask anything.
So, and this was something that we were just kind of talking about a little bit backstage, which was when did each of you know when your character was either going to be departing in some way, or were going to be killed, or...
We should say spoiler alerts at this point.
Yeah, so anyone who hasn't played season, you already know.
You've all played season 1, or
You might want to go,
We're going back 4 years.
Yeah.
Line, so just spoiler alerts, you've been warned.
Yeah, spoiler alerts, you've been warned. But I also get people that go back and play the game over and over and over again and think that there's some door, some magic key that they can save Lee, and it's like...
I still have people asking me, was Lee going to come back? And I'm like, I don't really think that, no.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
Well, let me ask some of you this question, because I get this a lot, that the theme of redemption for Lee Everett, him taking care of this little girl that he's just met. What do you think the important? Why did that work?
I would say you don't normally see in video games. You don't see kids. It's usually grenade, get down, take cover, blow it up, right? So you don't see this kind of connection. In some games you do, but it's still interspersed with blowing things up. And so to have the kind of connection that they built between Lee and Clementine, who are atypical leads, right, in a video game, but to give them massive heart and a story and make you actually care for what button you push, that's pretty remarkable.
Well, and I think I know, the writers at Telltale, when they set out to do season 1, actually had no intention of even continuing Clementine's story. And because after you play each episode, as you know, if you play the game, you see the statistics at the end of what people chose to do. And they were actually kind of taken by how much people were like glomming on to like, we have to protect Clementine, you know, like their Lee's main focus was to just through and through protect Clem. So as the season progressed and closer with each episode, you know they weren't going to keep. I mean, I think she was just going to be one and done kind of thing.
That's interesting because from the very beginning,
thank you, by the way,
in my head. And we're talking about the first session. This is what the story is about. This is what the whole thing is about. Is this guy who? And if you don't know the backstory, Lee Everett had been a college professor, found his wife cheating, killed her and her cheator,
her lover,
and was on his way to prison when the zombie apocalypse happens, and that frees him, and he thinks his life is over.
Thank you guys so much for watching part 1, and I hope you guys enjoyed part 2 and part 3, and yes, I hope you guys enjoyed the celebrity interviews. Just like asked them a few questions, and it was just cool to get to talk to them, especially when a couple of them were from The Walking Dead, which made me really happy. I was so excited to meet Juan and Fennoy and Melissa, and the whole crew. It was so amazing. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching. If you liked the celebrities I interviewed, make sure to give them a follow. I'll put their Instagrams and all their social medias in the description so you can see what they're up to, what they're filming next. Remember to stay kind and be rad. Bye guys!